Hi, thank you for watching this video. In this video, I quickly wanted to go over what it takes to actually scale past 50K per month if you're running an agency or a high ticket online service business. Okay. So before I actually go over the content of this video, I'd like to present myself. My name is Serge. Started an advertising agency over a year and a half ago. Went like 8 months without being able to close any clients, but as soon as I signed my first client, I was able to scale it past 10K. I was making, I think, 13K per month. And after that, I noticed that my clients didn't necessarily have a budget for ads, right? So I ended up figuring out how to really launch highly effective outbound prospecting campaigns and decided to start an appointment setting agency. And from there, I also started working with a lot of agencies. In the past, I would say 8 months, we worked with over 75 agency owners where we're actually going ahead and booking meetings on the calendar for them. I was able to scale the appointment setting agency to past 30K per month in like 3 months, which is insane. But yeah, now we're running a consultancy where we're actually helping online service businesses, agency owners scale past 50K per month using some of the components that I will cover in this video. Okay, so I actually a month ago I made the video about this. If you want to actually go over a more thorough video, you can go on my YouTube, you'll be able to see it. But in this video, I'd like to keep it short and actually go over the main things that you should think about implementing. Okay. So let's just to make sure that this is for you. This is for people who are running like who are already running an agency, maybe with a minimum of one client. I wouldn't say that it's a requirement because some people get clients and then end up losing them. But if you've already gotten proof of concept or you're running an offer that other people have already seen success with, then this is for you. Okay. Maybe you're looking for more effective ways to predictably book meetings without spending a lot of money on paid ads. Okay. Um, you're noticing that the market has become numb to your message and no one wants to get on calls with you essentially, and you're stuck wondering why everyone is making multiple five figures with the same offer, with the same niche as you, but you're not able to do it. Maybe you have virtual assistants or you've had them in the past, but they weren't necessarily doing a great job. Or maybe you're already past 20K, 30K, maybe even 50K. But you feel like you've capped out your current channel you use to acquire clients and get them on a call, whether that's through paid ads or even cold outreach, maybe using emails, you feel like you've capped out, then this is for you. Okay, I think you'll find this really helpful. So I would like to actually dive in depth to what it takes to actually scale past 50K per month. Okay, so um, just even before I cover these few components, I'd like to go over like how I actually came up with this with some of this stuff. Okay, because when I went from starting an advertising agency to struggling for 8 months, my issue was that I didn't know how to effectively launch outreach campaigns, okay? And I'm not saying to be able to launch an email, I'm not saying to be able to send a cold DM. No, I'm actually saying how to really launch effective outbound prospecting campaigns where you're not just sending cold DMs, but you're also building assets that supports your outreach, okay? That are meant to warm up your audience even before they get to respond to your DM or email, okay? And once I figured that out, and the way that I figured that out is by actually looking at other industries like SaaS businesses, where they have to book meetings with C-suite level people, like CEOs, COOs, CFOs, to get them on a call through outbound prospecting. So it's something that not many like courses teach. They might tell you, hey, go scrape leads and then send a cold email, but like no, it doesn't. Like within the current state of the market, it takes so much energy to convert a cold prospect that you can't just rely on an email or on a subject line, right? So that's one way that I figured that out, and then that's how I was able really to scale past five figures a month. But in order to scale past 30K per month, that also I had to go through another paradigm shift where I realized that outreach wasn't just the only thing that I had to do to scale past that, right? So, and then from there, how did I go from, running an appointments to successful appointment setting agency to a consultancy, right? So it's this evolution that helped me really come up with these components, and hopefully they'll help you. And if they do, just please let me know. Okay. So the number one thing that you need to really have in place is you need to know how to build an audience of hundreds, if not thousands, of ideal prospects. And your goal is to literally become an influencer in your niche. Okay. So imagine this. Imagine, because you've probably seen these influencers on Instagram who are like making launches every week, like on Friday, and making hundreds of thousands, if not millions, every single month, right? Well, how are they able to do it? It's because they actually have the eyeballs on them of people who actually are fans of their character, of their brand, okay? So one thing that I've noticed is that anyone who's making millions every single month is not just relying on outreach, right? You'll never find anyone relying on outreach to make 100K a week, right? So what I thought of is, well, how about we turn every agency owner into a micro influencer of their niche, right? And how about we actually build an audience for every single agency owner, okay? So we've built out frameworks on how to actually get like maybe 500 e-commerce store owners part of your audience, okay? It may be if you're selling to real estate agents, getting 500 real estate agents in like seeing you every single day. Okay, dental clinic owners, really any niche that you're targeting, we've built frameworks for that. So if you're currently not working on building your network and an audience, well, you'll hit limits, right? Because you'll have to do so much outreach that it just becomes pointless. Okay. So this building an audience thing, it's more of a long-term play, of course. You'll not become a millionaire after 2 weeks of growing your audience. But once you actually have eyeballs on you every single day, it becomes unreasonable for you to not even make 50 grand a week, literally. And I'm saying this because it's possible. Because you probably are, if you became an agency owner, it's probably because someone sold you on their course, right? Well, how did they do that? They did that because you became part of their audience, right? So me within this process, I was like, well, how about instead of just listening to what these gurus are telling us to do, how about we play the same game they're playing and actually build our own audiences? Okay. And that's how I came up with this insight. And me personally, I've been able to go from, making 30K per month to making 10K per day because I have an audience. Okay. So please find this helpful. The next thing is being able to niche down after a specific problem of that audience. Okay. So just simply saying that you scale brands to 6 or 7 figures, or you help real estate agents book 10 to 15 new appointments every month, that's not enough. Because if you target and if your message is like that, if that's your offer, then you're competing with so many people so that you can't dominate. You're just literally like everyone else who's jumping up in their DMs in their spam folder saying the same shit. Okay, so one thing that we've noticed for some of the agencies that are able to have breakthroughs, or even for my own offers, is that when I niche down after a specific problem, every time I'm able to dominate. Okay, so niche down after a specific problem. And then the next thing is craft irresistible offers and create highly resonating messages, headlines, and sales arguments. Okay. If you don't have an offer creation framework, like because if you don't really have an offer, if you're not good at creating offers, then like something is wrong because at the end of the day, people buy your services because of what it promises them. Okay. So if you don't know how to really structure your offers, well, you won't actually be able to scale because you'll keep selling things that people don't want. If your messages are about we do Facebook ad, like no, nobody wants Facebook ad. People want to solve a painful problem. Okay, and they want a specific outcome. So within your message, within your sales arguments, within your marketing arguments, you should never have anything about the actual, I mean, you could add in the mechanism, but nobody cares if you do Facebook ad, YouTube, cold outreach, cold emails. Nobody cares about that. They care about the problem you solve and they care about the outcome you get them. Okay, so you really need to become really good at creating irresistible offers because once you have an irresistible offer, oh my God, like miracles happen. Okay, so The next thing is, which I covered a bit earlier, is launching outbound prospecting campaigns on multiple channels. Okay. I can't tell you how much this scale is so effective and how powerful it is. But if you're really someone who knows how to launch highly effective outbound prospecting campaigns, and you literally could you could make hundreds of $1,000s in literally like 60 to 90 days without spending a single dime on paid ads. Okay. So that's one thing that I think it takes. You really, even though you're building an audience, you still have to have an infrastructure of meetings getting booked, right? And it needs to be done through outbound prospecting. Okay, where you're using multiple channels, let's say Instagram, emails, and then a bit of Facebook, right? And maybe a bit of LinkedIn. So you're having multiple, touch points, okay? And then the other thing is that you need to have virtual assistants in place, right? Every agency owner that I see who's still doing the work themselves, like, I don't understand it, right? We work from anywhere that we want. The only thing you need is an internet, okay? And guess what? We can have cheap labor in another place on or in another continent, right? So why would you be if you already know that you're undisciplined and you're struggling, right? To actually stay consistent and send hundreds of DMs of emails every single day, well, you should not get stuck through that. What you do is leverage money, okay? Leverage money. Go get someone to work for you for $3 an hour, and that's Canadian, by the way. Okay, it's not even US. So if it's in US, it's probably like 2.5 bucks. So get a virtual assistant to actually implement the outreach strategy. Get them to implement the outbound prospecting campaign while you focus on higher value activities, right? I'm not sure if I told you, but when I scaled my agency to 13K per month, I wasn't doing the outreach, right? I literally quit my job and straight away I had saved a few hundred, a few $1,000s, and I said, in I'd rather spend this money invested in my business and have the possibility of scaling to 5 figures a month than keep and save the few $1,000 that I have. But that's all I'll have my whole life. Like saving money doesn't actually produce money, right? It's only once you're able to reinvest that you have the potential of growing that. Okay. So so yeah, even if you don't have money, like go get a credit card. You only need like $500, and $500, it can literally last you over 2 months with a virtual assistant. I have over 14 virtual assistants working for me currently, and each one probably costs me like 250, $300 Canadian every month, right? So like it's a no-brainer, right? So yeah, get that. And then, you need to learn how to craft highly converting content, okay, and video sales letters. If you're not good at being able to create a Google Doc with content and then sit down and make a video piece about it so that you can actually productize your sales pitch, well, you'll have a hard time scaling because if you every single time you have to get on Messenger and convert someone through DMs, it's not scalable, right? And I learned it when I got my first virtual assistant, right? When I had three virtual assistants, I noticed that no one would be able to sell better than I am. So what I did was, well, I went online and learned the best guys at creating video sales letters, okay? And I got their frameworks for the VSLs and created multiple video sales letters so that the only thing my VAs would have to do is actually connect with people, and then once people were interested, when they were qualified, they would actually pick one of the VSL and send it, and the VSL would do all the heavy lifting, right? Because if someone after going through a 10-minute video understands what you solve and how you can help them, well, what else, what is there is like there's nothing left to it, right? All you have to do is just get them to book a call and that's it, right? So you need to be able to really be good at not only creating VSLs but also creating converting content, right? Because if on your pages you literally have zero content, like come on, right? Like that's not how you're supposed to play this game, right? You're supposed to have content, so much content that by the time a prospect responds to your DMs, they literally know all about you, all about your offers, what kind of results you get them. they know, yet they've seen your case studies, every single thing, because that makes them that by the time they get on a call with you, they have they come with their credit cards ready. Okay. And that's really the key. Okay. And then the last thing is just becoming a better thinker and a better decision maker. Because one thing that I've learned from just studying some of the great people in business, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, like these guys are not the smartest people, but they're the best decision makers that you can find, at least when it comes to business, right? So one thing that I like to do is I actually try not to focus too much on people within this agency space and actually learn from the big guys, right? Big guys and girls who are running like multiple billions of dollars um worth of revenue every year or every week, right? I know Jeff Bezos makes like $10 billion a week. Like you don't make that kind of revenue from just selling, right? You really need to craft and make long-term decisions. So you need to really become a better thinker and a better decision maker. And the only way you get that is by, you know, learning mental models, learning how different people go about, making different decisions, sacrificing profit now for long term, from for bigger effects later, right? So with all this stuff, right? If you implemented all of this, I personally believe that it would be unreasonable for you to not scale past 50K per month, okay? And essentially and that's pretty much it, right? So if you really find this helpful, well, the only thing I'd like from you is just I'd like your feedback and let me know which is the one thing that you personally found interesting that you have maybe been thinking of, but you've never really gotten the time or the insight or the framework to implement, or what is something that you've tried implementing but didn't work out, right? And yeah, I'd be happy to get your feedback. But one thing that because like I said, we're running a consulting business and we have a 50K a month program where we're actually helping agencies actually implement all of this stuff, right? So we have frameworks on how to implement all of this, how to get an audience, how to nurture it, how to build video sales letters, how to launch a six-figure in 60 days outbound prospecting campaigns on multiple platforms, right? And then we also help you craft an irresistible offer, help you craft headlines and sales arguments that literally turn your audience into puddles, right? So if you're ever interested or would like to learn more about what we do, then I'd be happy to get on a quick 15-minute call with you and literally walk you through everything, walk you through some of our results, and yeah, hopefully we'll get to work together. But if not, I'd really like to learn about what you're doing and what are your goals and what you're planning to implement from this. Thank you and have a beautiful day. Bye bye.